शिवभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, verse 8 and 9. Ya evam shantam atmanam atmastam veda purushaha na jayate prakrutistopi tadgunai samai stitaha. Synonyms: yaha, anyone, who, evam, thus, shantam, existing, atmanam, the individual atma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, Atmastam, situated within his body, Veda, knows, Purusha, person, na, never, Ajayate, is affected, Prakruti, in material nature, Staha, situated, Api, although, Tad Gunai, by the material modes of nature, Saha, such a person, Mayi, in me, Stitaha, situated. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Although within the material nature, one who is thus situated in full knowledge of Paramatma and Atma is never affected by the modes of material nature, for he is always situated in my transcendental loving service. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in this material world, he is not affected by the modes of material nature. Similarly, those who are always connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though they are within the material body of the material world, are not affected by the material qualities. That is explained very nicely in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Mam cha eva vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samadhitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who is unflinchingly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord surpasses the material qualities and attains Brahman realization. In this connection, Srila Rupa Goswami says that if a person is always engaged in the service of the Lord with his body, words, and mind, he is to be considered liberated, although living in the material world. Verse 9. Yaswadharmena mam nityam nirasya shraddhayanvitaha bhajate shanakistasya manorajan prasiddhati. Synonyms: yaha, anyone who, swadharmena, by his occupational duties, mam, may, nityam, regularly, nirasya, without any motive, shraddhaya, with faith and devotion, anvitaha, endowed, bhajate, worships, sanaka, gradually, tasya, his, manaha, mind, rajan, O King Prudu, prasiddhati, becomes fully satisfied. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, continued, My dear King Prudu, when one is situated in his occupational duty, engages in my loving service without motive for material gain, he gradually becomes very satisfied within. Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. This verse is also confirmed by the Vishnu Purana. Occupational duties are known as Varnasrama Dharma and applied to the four divisions of material and spiritual life, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and Brahmacharya, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. If one works according to the Varnashrama Dharma system, and does not desire fruitive results, he gets satisfaction gradually. Discharging one's occupational duty as a means of rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. Bhagavad Gita confirmed this as the process of Karma Yoga. In other words, we should act only for the satisfaction and service of the Lord. Otherwise, we will be entangled by the resultant actions. Everyone is situated in his occupational duty, but the purpose of material occupation should not be material gain. Rather, everyone should offer the results of his occupational activities. A Brahmana, especially, should execute his occupational duties not for material gain, but to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra should work in a similar way. In this material world, everyone is engaged in various professional and occupational duties. But the purpose of such activities should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devotional service is very simple and anyone can adopt it. Let one reminds what he is. He need only install the deity of the Supreme Lord in his home. The deity may be Radha Krishna or Lakshmi Narayana. There are many other forms of the Lord. In this way, a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra can worship the deity with the results of his honest labor. Regardless of one's occupational duty, one should adopt the devotional means of hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering everything to the Lord, and engaging in His service. In this way, one can very easily engage himself in the service of the Lord. When the Lord is pleased with one's service, one's life is fulfilled. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessing from all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings. So we are in the fourth canto, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 20, the name Lord Vishnu appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu. Just to give a quick recap, so Prithu Maharaj conducted 99 horse sacrifices and initiated the performance of 100 horse sacrifice at the spot where the Saraswati river flows towards the east. So Lord Vishnu appeared in the sacrificial arena. Lord Brahma, as well Lord Shiva also appeared. And other chief predominating personalities also appeared. The most powerful king, the king of Indra, the king of heaven, so saw this one assembly and he considered the fact that King Prithu was going to exceed him in fruitive activities. Thus, Indra could not tolerate the great sacrificial ceremonies performed by the King Prithu. So, in order to stop the ceremony, Indra twice tried to steal the horse and was very unsuccessful. And knowing this fact, King Prithu Maharaj was very furious and tried to kill Indra. However, the priest convinced Prithu Maharaj that he should not be killed and the priest can take care of himself. While they are sacrificing Indra into the ablation, Brahma stopped the act and convinced not to kill Indra as he is a demigod and part and parcel of the Supreme Personality. Prithu Maharaj was pacified Brahma words, and then the Vishnu who came to sacrificial arena continued the dialogue with Prithu Maharaj. So in the verse 8, it says that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in this material world, he is not affected by the modes of material nature. Similarly, those who are always connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though they are within the material body or the material world, are not affected by the material qualities. So if you look in Bhagavad Gita, the verse 12, chapter 12, यच्चैव सत्त्वैकभावा राजसास्तामसाश्चैव मत्त एवेति तन्विद्धि न अहम तेषु ते मयि. All material activities in this world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is not subject to him. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna. But Krishna is not subject to material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas are the modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Also in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya durattaya mama eva ye prapadyanti mayam etam tarantate. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, it is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So here, the word mam eva has very significant. Mam means unto Krishna only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnation of Rajoguna, passion, and Tamoguna, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also considered the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas, Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8, it confirms this in the phrase Tam eva vidatva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na sammiha. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. So one should not be disturbed by the activities of the modes of nature. Instead of putting one's consciousness into such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. And this includes not only Krishna, but his different plenary expansions such as Rama and Narayana. And he has innumerable expansions. One who is engaged in the service of any of the forms of Krishna or his plenary expansions is considered to be transcendentally situated. One should also note that all the forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, and has full of knowledge and eternal. Such personality of Godhead are omnipotent and omniscient, and they possess all transcendental qualities. So, if one engages himself in the service of Krishna or his plenary expansion with unfailing determination, Although these modes of material nature are very difficult to overcome, one can overcome them easily. And this has been confirmed in the seventh chapter, as I mentioned before. So, one who surrenders unto the Krishna at once surmounts the influence of modes of material nature. To be in Krishna conscious or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna. The Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, and the living entities are part and parcels of the Supreme, as gold particles are part of the gold mine. Thus, the living entity in his spiritual situation is as good as gold, as good as Krishna in quality. The difference of individuality continues, otherwise, there would be no question of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means that the Lord is there, the devotee is also there, and the activity of exchange of love between the Lord and the devotee is there. Therefore, the individuality of two persons is present in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the individual person. Otherwise, there would be no meaning of Bhakti Yoga. If one is not situated in the same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. To be a personal assistant to a king, one must acquire the qualifications. Thus, the qualification is to become a Brahman or freed from all material contamination. So, in summary, regardless of one's occupational duty, one should adopt the devotional means of hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering everything to the Lord, and engaging in his service to overcome the modes of nature. Discharging one's occupational duty as a means of rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal for anyone who takes the birth on this earth. It doesn't matter whether he is a king or a beggar, one has to follow his constitutional duty, that is to serve Krishna in their capacity as mentioned in the Varnasrama Dharma. One may be a president or a chairman or a homeless man. Their dharma is to serve Krishna unconditionally. If you fail in doing so, that means we wasted this life and we will go back into cycle of birth and death. We can only exit from this cycle when we come out from these three modes of material nature, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, with only Krishna mercy. Every jiva looks for happiness in this world, and this trait we got from Krishna only. We all look for happiness through our senses. Those senses give some happiness, it is very temporary. However, spiritual bliss, that is Brahmananda, is unlimited, and Krishna bestows this happiness if unconditionally serve him. Krishna is always ready to give this bliss to us. Because of our ignorance, we look for temporary happiness in this world and go behind wealth, fame, and others. At least initiated devotees in Krishna consciousness should be examples for others by following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. With this, I conclude. Vancha kalpakurvacha कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु